Hi, I've gotten a few questions about how to interpret the SafeAssign report that you get, the numbers that you get when you see over on your SafeAssign, what that percentage means. So I'm going to walk you through three examples in this video to help you understand what that number means. Having a high number in and of itself is not a problem at all. All that number is telling you is how much of what your essay has in it sounds the same or is phrased the same or very close to the same as something else found somewhere on the internet and or student essays. So because of that, anytime you're quoting, that should show up. And your references should also show up, right? If you've done them correctly, then they should be showing up in lots of students' papers, anybody who's also used that same source. So those things we don't worry about. But I'm going to walk you through what you should look for in this video here. So let's look at this first example. So in this student example, the student got a 47%, which is really high. So the student was nervous. But if you look at the essay, so all you got to do is click on that view your own report and you can see the same stuff. So when I scroll through it, look, the only things highlighted are references. That's completely great. That's what should be happening. You might notice the number 47% makes it seem like half of this should be highlighted. It's weird, isn't it? How the way that number is reported. So if you see a high number, that doesn't mean that half your essay is copied. It just means that's the number it's giving. It's strange how it does it. But if I look at this, I think there's no problem. This student's essay is perfect, right? It is odd, though, that if the student has quotes, that those quotes do not show up, don't get highlighted. That's a little weird, but that doesn't mean anything except that maybe the student, either there might be an error within that quote, maybe the quote was typed wrong, or who knows what, really. I don't worry about that, though. Let's look at another example. This one, so the student has like either the date is highlighted because that date's been used somewhere before, this title, but then again, nothing until, oh, here's a part in the essay. So I look at it, and if I hover over it, you can do this too, or click on it. It tells you exactly how much of a percentage match it is, 66%. That's not very high. And then it shows the student paper, how the phrasing went in there versus the original source. So in the student paper, just in 2010, there were 115,000 same-sex couple households with children in the U.S. Approximately 115,000 same-sex couple households with children in the U.S., up from about blah, 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 blah. So you see, they use the same number and they say same-sex couples, so that's probably what's triggering it, but that's not really that similar, so I don't even worry about it. If anything, that's a paraphrase, probably, you hope. But where it gets in trouble is, look at this third example. So in this one, when I scroll down, I see a big section highlighted. Now again, that's not a problem if it's a quote. Let's look at this first one. Oh, yep, starts with a quote, and then it quotes. It's broken into three parts, interestingly, but then the quote ends here. So this is all a huge quote, and so that's what it's highlighting. That's okay. This is a problem that it's not in block quote format, but that's a completely different issue. That's a writing and structuring issue. For here, this is fine. It's in quotes. That's totally fine. Let's look at the next one. Research shows, and the quote starts here, right? But the part that's highlighted starts way back here. There's two lines that are highlighted before the quote starts. So that makes me wonder, and I click on it, and I see it's 100% match. And in fact, this in the student paper is exactly the same as in this one. So what this means is this student put the quote in the wrong spot, right? They should have put it back, should have put it back here in the beginning with research. Instead, it's over here. So in this situation, I would tell the student, yep, this is plagiarism. You did plagiarize, but there wouldn't be an F on the paper. It would just be lost points because I can see it's just a mistake. It's not that they're trying to cheat. The real danger is, and I have no examples to show you of this because nobody's done it yet this term, but the real problem is when an entire section is copied and there is no citation, right? So it doesn't look like you didn't accidentally forget how to cite it. That's not the problem. Or when it says the previous source was another student's paper, that's when it gets really messy too. That's when I look and I go, oh, very often I'll get like a previous student from my own class. Their words get recycled in the next student's essay. That happens. And when that happens, there's just no mercy on my end because that's not what we're here for. We're here to learn how to write, not to learn how to copy our friends. Might be a useful life skill, but it's not what we're doing in this class. So that's how you use SafeAssign. Use it to check and make sure. If I was you, when I first turned my essays in, I would go look at my SafeAssign report, ignore the percentage, just click on the button to look at this part to see what's highlighted. And then if it was my essay, I would look for places like this, places that are highlighted and look and see, okay, did I put quotes in there? Okay, I did, right, that's fine. If I find a section like this, then I'd go, oh no, I put the quote in the wrong spot and move the quote back up here. and that would work great. If you find a place that like maybe you just not even a citation at all, it's not in quotes, it's just a big old block section, think, oh my God, I need to fix that. That's what that should be telling you is this is going to look like I plagiarized. I better figure out what I did wrong. Did you think you were paraphrasing, but it's still too close to the original? Then fix it. If you just forgot to cite the source, cite the source. It's a great last step to check before you are done submitting your essay. And you can always edit and resubmit your essays over and over and over again. So up until the due date, so due time. So don't worry. This is just a tool to help you fix your essays and make them perfect. I hope this was helpful.